Hello and welcome once again to another edition of your regular look at the Midlands' favourite daily serial, which you can see on Monday to Saturday at 9 p.m. right here on Big Centre TV. Now, checking in with us this week will be John Drury with another in his series of looks at some of the locations used in Crossroads. This week he'll be looking at somewhere very close to the heart of the show, Birmingham. And you might be surprised at some of the places they used. Now, we'll also be visiting the post office to get some of the messages you've been sending us about Crossroads, and as always we'll be having a look back at the past week and forward to next week too. And so we come to our obligatory mention of the contact details. And I've got to say thank you so much for all of the messages you've been sending us. I think we all knew how popular Crossroads still was all these years later, and you're proving it. Now, I know I've said it before, but don't worry if we haven't got round to mentioning your message just yet. There are so many coming in that there isn't always time to mention them all. But I'm keeping them safe, and I'll have another selection for you today. But quickly, just before I do, here they are. If you want to write to us, then our address is Crossroads Check-In, Big Centre TV, 14A, Lower Hall Lane, Walsall, WS1 1RL. And on social media, that's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, any more? Yeah. Well, just do a search for Big Centre TV and you can send us messages through any of those as well. Okay, right, let's take a look at some of the messages we've received recently. Now, Dennis Lockley has emailed in. He said, "Hi Lee, I just thought I would let you know I enjoyed Crossroads Check-In, a good supplement to Crossroads. I do think the old Crossroads had a stronger storyline than the ones I remember as a child. I don't remember any background music being played in the ones I've seen as new. Were the titles on the central television version filmed in Warwickshire or the Worcestershire border? All the best from Dennis." Well, I've spoken to John Drury, who's our resident Crossroads locations expert, and he tells me that the beginning of the sequence was filmed fairly close to Birmingham city centre. Then we see a local road between Hockley Heath in the Solihull borough and Tanworth in Arden, which is indeed in Warwickshire. Now, staying in Tanworth in Arden and part of the Umberslade Hall estate was also used. And then right at the very end, the motel shown is actually the Pens Hall Hotel near Sutton Coldfield. Now, these days it's part of the Ramada Group and it still features from time to time as the Crossroads Motel in various programmes and reports. Nice one. Next up is our first postcard to the show from Kim Rice in Great Bar. Now, she asks if we know the actor Stephen Hoy, who played Chris Hunter. Is he still in the acting business? She says I managed to get a signed photo from him when he was in the series and still has it to this day. Well, Kim, we've looked him up and he's been a busy lad over the years. According to IMDb, after he was in Crossroads at the end of the 70s, he went on to act in the David Essex film Silver Dream Racer. He then appeared in the Dick Emery comedy show. He had parts in Spies Like Us with Chevy Chase and Dan Aykroyd, as well as Little Shop of Horrors in 1985 and 1986 respectively. He then turned up in the satirical newsroom sitcom Drop the Dead Donkey. I love that. He was a voice in a mid-90s Star Wars video game, and his most recent credit was in the fantasy short film called The Delivery, playing the part of the Dormouse from Alice in Wonderland. Well, these days Stephen has made quite a name for himself in the world of audiobooks, and he's also won a number of top awards in the field. Not bad, eh? And Maria Brabiner has been in touch. Now, I know Maria is a big fan and also part of the Crossroads Appreciation Society, who've been valiantly keeping the flag flying for many years. Maria says, "Dear Lee, I watch Crossroads Check-In and the episodes online because I live in Salford at the heart of Granada land. It's very pleasing to see. Well done. Thank you very much. My first ever memory of Crossroads is of Sandy Richardson in his hospital bed. Scenes were transmitted in 1972, but I couldn't tell you what year that was because of Granada's policy of keeping us 1 year behind in episodes. The only thing I can remember is the episode went out at 1:30 p.m. Granada didn't start transmitting episodes until 1972, so very annoying. All I can think of, it must have been to protect Coronation Street. Quite silly, really, in my opinion. There would have been room for both tastes. I've always preferred Crossroads to Coronation Street. Corrie was too close to home, too much like real life. As much as I liked that fiery redhead Pat Phoenix, I preferred the other redhead Noel Gordon and her glamorous life rather than the working class lives of my fellow northern folk. My favourite characters are Meg and Hugh. Noel Gordon and John Bentley were fabulous, very realistic. Their 1975 wedding episode can't be beaten, in my opinion, by any soap because of the streets of Birmingham being lined for miles by fans queuing to get a glimpse of the bride and groom. Very much like a real royal wedding. Extraordinary and wonderful. I particularly enjoyed John Drury's short film last night about Coventry locations in Crossroads. I've visited Coventry Cathedral and Coventry Boy, but wasn't aware of the location of the hospital. Thank you. Keep up the good work, Lee, John and the team. Best wishes, Maria Brabiner. Oh, what a lovely message. Thanks, Maria. Tell you what, I always find it interesting to hear how Crossroads was seen and perceived in other parts of the country. I mean, I've always lived in the West Midlands myself, so I just took it for granted that we had our own show. But when you hear that people closer to Coronation Street prefer Crossroads, well, that's actually kind of cool, isn't it? Anyway, if you've got your own Crossroads story to tell, did you meet the stars? Do you have a strong memory of a particular show? Can you fill in those gaps between episodes? Have you got any photos or stories of a personal connection to Crossroads? Doesn't matter how small. Or if you just want to tell us what you think of the show, get in touch. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, just search Big Centre TV. Or use the hashtag BCTV Crossroads to highlight your message. That email address, crossroads@bigcentre.tv. And finally, our postal address is Crossroads Check-in, Big Centre TV, 14A, Lower Hall Lane, Walsall, WS1 1RL. OK, still to come in today's show, we've got our all-important preview of what you should be seeing during the coming week here on Big Centre TV. Plus, John Drury will be checking in with us once more for another in his series of location reports. And this week, we're looking at the production's hometown, Birmingham. And although it's changed quite a lot, you'll be surprised just how much you recognise. That's still to come, but now it's time to take a look back across the week at what's been happening in and around our favourite motel.
Sorry I'm late, but...
Where the hell have you been?
Well, I've been over to Bernice to show her the baby. I'll get her ready for a bath.
Sheila, suppose you and me go over to see Jill and Stan tonight.
Don't start on that again. I've told you before, I wouldn't be seen dead in that flat.
You're making a mountain out of a molehill. Stan didn't mean you wasn't to see the baby.
I know what Stan meant.
He was upset.
Upset enough to tell the truth. Jill's the same. They resent me going over there, holding the baby. Well, now I know. I'm going to keep right out of their lives, just like they want me to.
Roy saw the baby being born. Had a dramatic effect on him. On both of them, if you ask me.
Well, I suppose they do hit it off. I mean, suppose they even get married, so what? I don't answer that.
No, it sticks out a mile, doesn't it? What about the baby? What about Jill and Stan?
Well, it might never happen. Most of the things we worry about never do.
Well, I couldn't interfere. I wouldn't. But somebody's going to get hurt. Badly.
Say they've discovered what's wrong with Amy.
At last? What is it?
It's malaria.
Malaria?
Hey, that's what you get from mosquitoes, isn't it?
Yeah, she's had it all these weeks since she came back from that holiday in Africa.
Poor old Amy. I hate to say this, but she should have taken my advice.
What advice was that, Miss Tatum?
Well, you know, when she came back, she had a headache and a cold. I remember when she came to the post office with my present, I advised her to go and see Dr. Wickham. They tell you to, you know. They give you a yellow card when you step off the plane.
Maybe she didn't read it.
Well, that's a fine thing. I hope we don't spend our lives handing out forms for people not to read.
It's a bit sudden, isn't it?
Been a change of plans. Sorry to see me go, eh?
Well, of course I am, you know that.
Go on then, be a devil and come with me.
Eh?
Jack all this lot in and come away with me.
I can't.
Go on, to hell with everything. Go mad for once in your life.
No, Cliff. I've had enough madness for once in my life. I think it's time I settle down.
Sure?
I'm sure.
Okay, you win. But don't blame me. It's worth a try, wasn't it?
I won't be blaming you for anything. You've been very good to me. I won't forget it.
Don't know if I'll forget it either. One thing for sure, though. I won't come bothering you. That's not in, is it?
No.
Hey, it's quite a coincidence. Us coming back at the same time. Almost like old home week.
Yes, except that there is nothing old about this home, Vera. It's brand new. Top of the market. She's done very well for herself, hasn't she?
You've got a nerve. I thought I told you I didn't want to see you again.
Well, that's just hard luck, love, because you're going to have to, whether you want to or not.
Of all the thick-skinned people, you...
What about you, Vera? What does it feel like to be back?
In fact, I'm just beginning to find out what's been going on at the salon while my back was turned. I'm on my way there right now. Mr. Maurice?
Ah, good evening, madame.
I'm Vera Downend.
Ah, yes. I heard you were back.
Well, I'll be taking over as from tomorrow.
No.
No.
Right, we're just going to take a short break now, but don't go anywhere because in part 2 we'll be taking a look ahead to what's coming up on Crossroads during next week, and John Drury will be here with his location report. Don't check out just yet, we'll be back shortly. Welcome back and thanks for checking in with Crossroads here on Big Centre TV. Still to come, we're going to take a look ahead to some of the episodes we're going to be showing during the coming week. Time now for our location report, and it's time to find out where John Drury is this week. And it's somewhere a little closer to home.
Hello, thanks for joining me as today we take another look at some more of the real-life places used during the production of Crossroads. By the 1970s, ATV had their own purpose-built studios in Birmingham. Therefore, it comes as no surprise to learn that many of the locations that appeared on screen were in the city centre. In this clip from 1975, Amy Turtle is visiting Barnaby's toy store on Colmore Row next to the Great Western Arcade. The building was modernised in the 1980s and now looks completely different, although many locals still have fond memories of childhood visits. Directly opposite Snow Hill Station, the toy shop and the arcade were built above rail tunnels. Shop assistants would often tell customers that vibrations in the store were caused by a giant train set in the basement. This is the old register office on Broad Street, where in 1975 Meg finally married Hugh Mortimer. The statues are known locally as the Golden Boys or the Carpet Salesman, after the rolled-up plan of a steam engine which they're examining. Back on Colmore Row is the Cathedral Church of St Philip, which was originally built as a parish church and consecrated in 1715. It's said to be the third smallest cathedral in England. Meg and Hugh had their marriage blessed here in a service, attended by close family and a crowd of thousands. Quite why so many people would turn up, or indeed why there would be a police presence, was never explained. This shot of Vera's narrowboat was taken near Gas Street Basin, next to a building labelled S.A. Daniel, a company once based on Edward Street Parade. Gas Street Basin was once the centre of a thriving canal network. It's the meeting point of the Worcester and Birmingham Canal and the Birmingham Canal Main Line. In days gone by it would have been alive with the sound of cargoes being loaded and unloaded. Also in Gas Street Basin is this canal-side cottage, which was used as the home of the Harvey family. Today it's a much more relaxing place, where you're more likely to find people enjoying a quiet drink or a canal-side walk. Finally, for today we check in with the character of Sandy Richardson, who's in hospital following his car accident. The brickwork and concrete slabs make this easy to identify as the roof of the ATV studios. Sadly for fans of classic TV, they've since been demolished. It looked a little windy on top of that building there, but it just goes to show how ingenious the producers of Crossroads really were. I hope you enjoyed this whistle-stop tour around Birmingham city centre, and I hope to share some more Crossroads locations with you very soon.
And John will be with us again in a couple of weeks' time. Next week we'll be checking in once more with Crossroads' very own Jane Rossington. OK, now it's time to look ahead to what we can expect during the coming week's episodes of Crossroads here on Big Centre TV. And of course remember that there might just be a few potential spoilers ahead. In fact, here's a spoiler for you. We've got another Crossroads wedding this week. It's not really a spoiler, I suppose, because in 1975 it was the wedding of the year as Meg Richardson became Meg Mortimer as she ties the knot with Hugh. That's all still to come though. First, episode 2247 is from December 1974. Meg and Hugh reminisce about 1974 as Mr. Booth challenges Shuey to pipe in the new year with a rendition on the bagpipes. Meanwhile, Amy is being entertained by Shuey's offal.
You see, there's the sheep's pluck, there's the lights, the liver, the hearts, the sheep's udder and the sheep's kidney, all boiled together with oatmeal and boiled into a sheep's stomach bag.
It's nothing but a lot of offal.
Some would call it offal, others ambrosia.
Well, I wouldn't fancy it anyway.
We, Amy, picture the scene. The polished table, the gleaming silver, the skirrow of the pipes and the swirrow of the kilts, the Highland fling and the sword dance. Did I never tell you I was a champion Highland dancer?
No, but I expect you will incessantly from now on.
Episode 2262 is from January 1975. Hugh's new business deal may not be quite the sure thing that he leads Sandy to believe it is, and Stan is miffed at Shuey when his thoughtless comments put Wilf into a sulk. Shuey, however, is oblivious to it all.
You? Another complaint from a guest?
Oh, well, if it's anything that I happen to say...
I wouldn't say any more, Mr. McPhee, if I were you, because it wasn't you this time.
Well, I didn't think it could be.
Oh, well, let's have a look at the menu, shall we? Thank you.
What do you recommend for lunch?
Well, Mum, well, when did you...
Get back to us now.
But when did you decide to come back? Why didn't you tell us?
Warn you, you mean? There, darling. And how are you, Mr. McPhee?
Oh, fine, fine, Mrs. Richardson. See the Scottish air has worked its usual wonders on you.
Episode 2293 is from March 1975. Shuey is having women trouble and Meg has a major row with Hugh over the insurance money he's trying to claim from Stan. Unfortunately, Meg's anger stops her from seeing just how grief-stricken Amy is.
Purely a matter of business.
And your business is to get back your £7,000, all right. I'm going to pay it back, every penny of it.
Meg, I hate to remind you again.
Come in.
Mrs. Richardson, I wondered if I could...
Not now, Amy.
I repeat, we are about to get married.
And I repeat, it had almost slipped my mind.
Love is a very small word for a very deep and complex emotion. It's got many different meanings.
Like in tennis?
Yes, exactly. Tennis?
You know, when they say love 30, advantage Miss Goolagong.
No, I was thinking more of the affairs of the heart.
Episode 2294 is from March 1975. Amy's grief is causing her to do strange things and she gets arrested for shoplifting. Jane is concerned that the payment for Hugh's painting is coming from the motel insurance.
Yes. Well, show him in, would you, please? Well, he's here.
Oh, I tell you, punctual type. Well, now we shall soon know the worst.
The worst? But I thought you said he would.
Oh, yes, he will. A figure of speech, darling, you know.
No, I don't know. What's he like?
Well, it's hardly time to give you a rundown on his personality, but he speaks straight from the shoulder, I can tell you that.
Come in.
Can of milk.
Ah, Freddie, my dear fellow.
You put on weight, you'll never get through the eye of a needle. Not that I ever thought you would.
No, this is Meg.
How do you
Meg
do?
Richardson.
Hello.
And this
She knows very well.
Here it is, episode 2301. It's from April 1975. Meg and Hugh's big day finally arrives as they tie the knot and bring Birmingham to a complete standstill.
There, now. Mrs. Richardson.
My shoes!
Oh, no. Mum, you won't get far without those. I found them by your dressing table. Come here, let me help you. Now, do sit down carefully. I don't want you to crease. There.
No, I do wish I'd worn my old grey ones. At least I knew they were comfortable.
Oh, nonsense. You've got to have new shoes to get married in. Yeah, something old, something new. Something borrowed and, well, something blue.
There's a reception here.
Crossroads Motel. Oh, just a minute. Oh. Yeah, I'm with you.
I'm going to drop one of these any minute now. We'll have to take some of them into the sitting room. We're getting swamped here.
Da dum da dum.
Carney,
Da dum da dum. Dum da da dum da da dum da da dum.
You look gorgeous. It's lovely.
And so are you, madam.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Episode 2302 is from April 1975. As the wedding reception is in full flow, Diane returns to the motel to claim her old job back. David, however, has other ideas.
Di!
Vince, what are you doing?
Well, I was going to say the same thing to you. I thought you were still in America.
Well, yes, I came back for the wedding.
Well, that makes two of us. I got an invitation while I was working in London. Took a day off, and here I am.
Well, that's fantastic. Oh, I'm sorry. Do you two know one another? This is Miss Mansfield. She's a new receptionist.
Well, actually,
No.
This is Vince Parker, my ex-husband.
How do you do?
Hi. It's all right. The marriage may be over, but we are still good friends.
Oh, well, can I offer you a cup of coffee?
No, thanks. No, I can't stop. I'm going down to the village to pick Miss Tatum up from the post office. I only looked in to see if I could give anybody else a lift.
A lift to the village?
No, you daft ape, to the Droitwich Hotel. To the wedding reception.
Let me do most of the work. It's going.
So there you go. All being well, that's what you'll be seeing this coming week right here on Big Centre TV every night at 9. And that's about all we have time for on this week's Crossroads check-in, but I'll be back at the same time next week. So remember, if you'd like to get in touch about Crossroads, have you got an old episode on tape? Do you remember a favourite storyline? Did you ever meet any of the cast or the crew? Well, you know where we are. Look us up on social media at Big Centre TV, email crossroads@bigcentre.tv, or actually write to us. The address is Crossroads Check-in, Big Centre TV, 14A, Lower Hall Lane, Walsall, WS1 1RL. OK, time to check out now, but I'll see you again next week. Well, how about that? It hasn't rung this week. Right, I'm off. Well, what do you know? Always the way, isn't it?